Hi, Tom here. In this week's Circular and Optical drawing, I'll show you one way to draw a quick, imaginary city using two-point perspective. For this drawing, we're going to start with a sketch. So using sketching lines and then build them up into more complicated lines, and then add some details towards the end. To start this drawing, we need to start with drawing a horizon line, which is low down on the page, and then we can add two vanishing points, one on the right and one on the left. Next, we need to follow the basic rules of two-point perspective, which is that vertical lines stay vertical, and all receding lines in this drawing will go to one of the two vanishing points. So the aim of this drawing isn't to copy the drawing that I'm doing, but is to copy the idea behind the drawing, which is to be playful with the shapes that you make using two-point perspective and inventing structures where all of the receding lines go to the two vanishing points and all of the vertical lines stay vertical. So by being inventive means really, I guess, not quite knowing what you're doing, so working it out as you go along. And to do that, we use a sort of sketching line so that we can think fast and develop ideas as we go along. So as I'm drawing this, I'm trying to think of how the various structures that I'm inventing will sort of relate to each other so that you could walk between them and so that they would make some sort of sense. To make it easier for myself, I'm using structures which are all parallel to each other. That means they all share the two vanishing points. And I'm also using structures which are only made out of straight lines, just because it's quicker. As I'm discovering lines which will become more useful to structures that I want to make, I'm making those lines darker. It's a bit like a dream, which we want to over time make more real. So the lines are all quite tentative and playful at the beginning, but as we start to think about which wall is in front of which other wall and which building part is in front of which other building part, then we can start to draw lines which are more careful. So the central building is more or less in place. So on the left-hand side, I want to make this into a view of part of a city. So I'll do some sort of building on the left-hand side, which is receding to the right vanishing point. And then we can do the same on the right-hand side. Put another building which is receding to the left vanishing point. Now these two structural buildings are in front of the vanishing points, which means that the vanishing points will be somewhat hidden in the final drawing, which is useful. And then in the spaces in between the three buildings that we have, the central large building block and the building on the left and the right, any gaps, we can just fill them up with, again, more playful shapes. And as they're receding, they'll be behind each other. So we're using the vanishing points and perspective to show the depth in the drawing. We're also using the sense of things overlapping each other to show depth in the drawing as well. If you'd like to know more about drawing or join one of my online drawing courses, please visit my website circleandoptical.com. Thanks for watching and see you next time.